So 40 through 44, the biggest problem with this, I believe, is the entering it in standard form. And so if you're going to solve this equation, our first step, we've already found the slope. Okay, so our first step is just going to be find your y-intercept. So easy way to do that, y equals mx plus b, substitute in your y value, your slope, and your x value. So our y is -7, our slope is -3/2, our x is 4, and we're going to solve for our b value. So 2 goes into 4 twice, that leaves a -6 plus b, add 6 to both sides. We get our y-intercept to be a -1. Okay, so when we look at this, we can rewrite our equation. Y equals -3/2 x plus our y-intercept, which is -1. Okay, so many of you got to this point and then you entered it and it's not right. Okay, so standard form looks like this. AX plus BY equals C. And there's a couple specific conditions you're looking for. A, B, and C are integers. If you remember from the first section, integers are those counting numbers, and their opposites. Okay, so you can't have decimals, can't have fractions. So right here we have a fraction. So we need to get rid of our fraction. So the first step in this is to multiply every single term by the smallest number that we can that will eliminate all fractions. So that's your greatest common, or your least common multiple, the least common denominator of all these. So a 1, a 2, and a 1. So we're going to multiply everything by a 2. Okay? And think of it as each individual term. So 2 times y, 2 times a -3/2, so the half and the 2 cancel, leaving a -3x. And then 2 times -1 gives a -2. So that's one condition you have to pay attention to. Another condition that you need to pay attention to is x and y terms on the same side of the equation. And then the final condition, I'll just combine it here before I write my actual steps, is the leading coefficient is going to be positive. Okay, so what that means is I want to write my x term in front of my y term, have those completely by themselves on one side of the equation, the constants over on the other side, and I want that x term to have a positive leading coefficient. Okay, so should I move my y term to the right or my x term to the left in order to get the positive x? I'm going to move my x term over, right? So it becomes a 3x and a plus a 2y, and then that -2 is going to stay on that side. So now all of those conditions are met. The x and y terms are together on one side with no fractions or decimals. The constants on the other side. The x has a positive leading coefficient, and so this is the standard form.